Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to create some layers and then add some basic attributes to each layer in order to help stylize our objects here that we've got in a model space. So what we'll do is we're going to go up here to the Layer Properties button, and we'll click that. That's going to bring up the Layer Properties Manager. Now within here, this is where all your layers are going to be. Default layer is always 0, and that's what we're going to build upon. So to add a new layer, let's go up here to these buttons, and this button right here is New Layer. So click on that, and once you click that, it creates a whole new layer. Now you can rename it. So I'm going to rename mine my rectangle, and then hit enter. Now I've got some options here. I have got a few options to change in here. Now I've got these buttons here. This is on. So when this little bulb right here is yellow, that means that the layer's on. You can see everything that's on that layer. And if it's blue like that, then that means it'll hide everything on that layer and you won't see any of it. Freeze, that kind of does similar to that. I'm not 100% sure the full function of freeze, but that will also take away all the visibility of whatever's on that layer. Lock, that's pretty self-explanatory. It'll lock the layer so that you can't accidentally delete or make changes to it. Plot, if you have that on and you've got the red circle in there, that just means that that layer won't print if you're sending this to a plotter. In this case, it doesn't really matter. And then we've got color here. So, if you click right on the color, that'll pop up your color picker. And I'm going to change the color of my rectangle to, you know what, let's go with like a dark green here. And next we've got line type, which can be, solid line. You can do dots, you can do dashes, and there's a whole bunch of other things you can load in here if you needed a different type of line type. But for this purpose, I'm just going to stick with this, and I'm actually going to go with the dash line. So I'm going to use the hidden line type. And for the line weight, now line weight, that ranges to extremely bold. So I'm gonna go to 2 millimeter here. And we've also got transparency. Transparency is just that, if you need to see through it. For this purpose, I'm just going to leave it at 0. New viewport freeze. I've never used that, so I'm not 100% sure how that works, but it looks like you can turn it on and off and freeze. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure how that actually works. I've never needed to use that. And description. I guess you can write a description in there. Say, like my rectangle. So, you got a better description than just the name. And then it probably takes on more characters. But for this, that's not really necessary. I've not actually ever used the description. So now that I've got some settings on here, I've got my color, my line type, and my line weight. Now, as you can see, my rectangle has not changed to any of those. So in order to do that, just go ahead and select the object you want to put on that layer. And then up here, it's going to have drop down of all your layers in here. And, you might have multiples in here. If you do, you can just start typing out, the first couple of letters of whatever your layer is, if you remember what it is, and it'll automatically populate it to the top. But in this scenario, I don't have that many in here, so I'm just going to go and select my rectangle. And as you can see, my rectangle now takes on the green, the dash lines, and now the 2 millimeter line weight. So what we'll do is we will go and create another one. So we'll go back to our new layer and select that. Now, because I had my rectangle layer selected, it took on all those properties. It created a new layer with all the same properties. But and you can do that if you have something else in there that needs those same properties, or if you're just going to change one out of the 3 properties, or just whatever you needed to do. This is a slightly quicker way than just creating a whole one from scratch. So I'm going to label this one my circle, and now I'm going to put the circle onto my circle layer. Well, first let's make some changes here. Let's do a nice red color, and I'm going to use the dotted lines, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to bring it down to a 30 millimeter, and I'm not really going to set anything else. Don't need to. Oh, well, the description, that pulls over description too. So I'm just going to delete that because it's not a rectangle, it's a circle. So now I've changed all that and I've got my circle selected. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select my circle. And now that has taken on the properties of my circle. So let's do one more here. So now I'm gonna select my new layer, and see that pulled over my properties from my circle just because I last had selected the circle. So now this is for my line, and my line, that's going to be a dark blue, and I'm going to keep that a continuous solid line. And let's go with something a little bolder here. Let's go with an 80 millimeter. Now I'll come over here to the model space, I'll select my line, go up to the drop down up here and put it on there. Now I've got a nice bold blue line. So, that's pretty much the basics of creating layers and assigning your objects to layers. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and if there's anything that you want to see me demonstrate here in AutoCAD, just drop me a line in the comments, and I'll put a video together. And don't forget to subscribe, because I put out videos at least once to twice a week. And thank you for watching.